Hello everyone, welcome back to Colouring with Kay. Thank you for joining me. So in this video it's part 2 of my buddy colour with Shell Arty, and it's where we are colouring this dinosaur, the Stegosaurus, and previously in part 1 I had done the background here with Neocolour 2, so if you haven't checked that video out and you're interested, it's on my channel. And what else can I say? Yeah, remember that on this double page I had previously pre-prepared it with the satin glazing liquid, so it should take and it has actually taken the watercolour very well. So today what I'm going to focus on in part 2 is the dinosaur itself. And so I'm going to use watercolour, and the watercolour I'm going to use is the Pretty Excellent watercolours which you can get off Amazon, which are, well, when I bought them they were for a really good price. And the colours I'm going to use are blue, purple and red. So I've already prepared some of the colours, as in activate them by putting water on top of them. So now I'm going to just do a sort of a wet on wet technique. So actually I'll put this over here because I haven't got a really big workstation here. So I'm just going to start, and I've got my cloth here as well, and then I've got 2 water pots. So I've got this one which is just going to be adding clean water, because I want to use a wet on wet technique and see how that works. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'll have a go. And then in this pot here I'll sort of clean my brushes. So the brushes I'm also going to use, because it's quite a big space, I'm going to use an 8 and a 6, I think, size 6, and then a size 1. So I'm not using particularly fine brushes. So let's get started. I'll bring you in a little bit just to show you the dinosaur part. Okay, so here it goes. I'm a bit nervous starting, but I always am when I'm doing a sort of a colouring on camera. I'm always not so confident with these sort of videos because, like I say, I'm very far from what an artist would be, so it's not my vocation or anything. So I'm just putting some clean water down on here, and just on this part here. And then now I'm going to add some colours. I'm going to start off with my blue, so 19, and I'm just going to use the colour Neat. So I'm just going to place it on in just odd areas, like so. Clean that brush. I might go for a different shade of blue, 17 now. And then just, place it in areas. So the top of the dinosaur, I really want it to be in the different blues. I need to work sort of not too slow because I don't want the water to dry up. Basically, I want to be able to sort of get where the colours sort of merge into each other a little bit. And there we go, a little bit there. I'm going to do the other side of the page afterwards because I don't want to wet my page too much. This isn't watercolour paper, so even though I've used a satin glazing liquid, I don't want to stress the paper out too much. Right, so that's that. I'm going to go for a bit of purple now. Just in this bit of the body. Just doing it randomly and maybe a few colours there, maybe a few dabs here and there. And then my intention is, just so that you know, my intention then is to, I haven't got a lot of water on this bit, my intention is to go over this with pencil as well, some pencil shading. That's a very bright mauvey purpley colour. Very nicely pigmented these paints are. Right, okay. When I first started colouring, I would have never done this. I would be very nervous. I would I would never add watercolour, that's for sure, to a colouring book page. Right, so I'm just adding water now where it was dry, because I didn't add water bottom of here, of the legs. And so just gonna now go on to the next colour, which is tea. Hope I'm in camera. Let me just move my book a little bit higher so you can see. Got a bit of colour there. So I need a tissue. Got a tissue here. There. There's one thing I didn't remember to get myself, which was some tissues. So the book's not laying particularly flat, so the water's sort of dripping onto the book spine. Right, so what's next? Number 11, which is a red. I'm just gonna put that in there. Hopefully this won't destroy my page at the back, because right, so now a bit of this again. If it's too much colour, I'm just going to take a bit off with my tissue. So I think I've got a bit too much colour there. So I don't want to take off some of that colour there. Okay. Check if it's gone through. No, it hasn't. I might just use this fine brush. Doesn't really matter if I don't get up to the edges, because I'm going to use pencil to shade areas of this as well. So we should be okay. Right, so that's that bit. Okay, I think that's okay. Excuse my arm going over for the water. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to try to do this side in the same way that I did this. So again, you're in frame, hopefully, yep. So I'm just going to add the water. We've got a bit of colour there, but not too much, so that's okay. So a bit of colour there as well, but I'm not too fussed about that. Didn't clean the brush as well as I could have. Right, so this bit near this dinosaur, I'm going to have to use a finer brush. Okay, right, so before this water dries, I'm going to I'm just going to quickly get onto it. Okay, so I think I have, I'll just move this out of the way so you can see what I've completed so far. I think I've done the dinosaur with the paints as much as I possibly could. So there we go. It hasn't bled through to the other side, thankfully. Yeah, and that's the maybe a little bit on here it has. Maybe I used a bit too much water there, but it's, you know, it's barely anything. I can cover that up. But yeah, that's, I'm going to let that dry now, and then I'll continue. Okay, so what I want to do now is add some pencil shading over this watercolour dinosaur. So I've chosen to use Prismacolor, and I've got in Untitled Blue PC208. I have Peacock Blue PC1027, Violet 932, Dark Purple 931, Dahlia Purple 1009, and Blue Denim 1101. So I'm just going to film a little bit of this because my plans are to, I've not fully decided yet, but maybe to add some gold watercolour paint here where these triangular sections are on the dinosaur, and then I'm probably going to add some form of Deco art glitter over it as the final finish, but I haven't fully decided yet. But these houses will also need to have some metallic gold on them as well, because I want them to go with the dinosaur, and the houses will have similar colours to these blues, blues, purples and deep sort of reddish colours I'll probably include as well. So I'll bring you in a little bit. I can go the right way, whoops, sorry about that, like this. So I'm going to start off with the, let's just say, go with the denim blue. Start here. I suppose I could go in more and just shift my book. Might have to shift it like this because my equipment is quite close, so my book can't be pushed to the right side too much. My camera equipment's in the way, so I'm just having my book at an angle. So I'm just adding some pencil shading. Colours down. In places just where I think there'd be, you know, bits of shading, and probably going to follow Kirby's, you know, where he's got the darker lines, so you know there's a bit of shading there. So I'm going to keep to the colours, similar colours to the paint that I've put down. Like I said, I'm only going to film a little bit of this because otherwise this video is going to be ultra long and you will get ultra bored, and I really don't want that. So I'm just sort of showing you a little section, just filming a little bit of this to show you basically what I'm doing. So I know I've previously done this by seeing Dee Dee, you know, put down acrylic paint and then putting the pencil on top. But, you know, you can do it with watercolour as well. Alright, this bit has got very little colour, so I'm just going to add in a bit of colour here. There's no real technique I'm using here, like I say, it's just putting in a little bit of shading where I think it might just make the contrast more pronounced, so then it just looks nice. Very simplistic approach there of mine. So I'm just going to do this bits of this side here. So I'm going to go on to this colour now. So this is the Peacock Blue. I'm not going to go over everything. I'm just going to add in shading in just some areas because I want some parts to look, you know, lighter than others. I think that will look good. I'll just do it randomly, I suppose. Right, so I'm going to carry on with that bit off camera. So just to show you with these bits here with the purple, I'm going to use a, let's see, maybe this dahlia purple up here. Looks like a good match. So my dinosaur is going to have a few little markings of its own, so it might look a little strange. As long as it looks nice. When I colour or do anything, when it comes to you know, colouring pictures or whatever, if I do something new, you know, as long as it looks nice and I like it, I think that's a success. Sometimes it might not work out great, but that's fine. So yeah, I'm just sort of I'm going to put more colour in here, you know, darken this up much more with a darker purple. So I might go on to a dark purple now for these bits. So yeah, I'm just going to use darker colours for those bits. So that's all I do. There's no real technique to it. So I'm going to carry on with that, and then I'll show you the finished thing in terms of, you know, the completed pencil shading and what it looks like then, and then we'll go on to the next part after that. Right, so here I have got, sorry for knocking the camera there, here I've got the dinosaur with the pencil shading. So I've finished putting the pencil shading on here. I think I have anyway. I hope I haven't missed any bits because I'm just renowned for doing that. But you can see that I've used the pencil to sort of shade in places. There are lighter sections and darker sections, so I'm quite happy with how it looks right now. But I'm going to add some gold, and this is my Finetech Coliro gold and silver palette. So I think I'm going to use Arabic gold and maybe some Inca gold on these sort of bits here at the top, these triangular bits at the top. So we'll see how that goes. It might spoil it completely, but it might be okay. So I've got my fine brushes now. I've got the 2-0, I've got the 1 again, and this one I won't be using. That's just to wet the paints really on the palette. So I'm going to start off with a bit of Inca gold here. So right, let me bring you in a bit actually. so that you can maybe see a bit better. So like I say, this might make the whole thing look a bit, right, not so good, but we'll see. It might work, it might not. So yeah, I'm just roughly putting in the Inca Gold there. I'm just going to try the Arabic Gold and I'll see how that looks. Oh, that's much more brighter. That's definitely brighter. I'm going to go over this then. I like the Arabic Gold better. My dinosaur might look very weird now. If it already doesn't look weird, so it does look a bit weird, but as long as I like it at the end. If I don't, then it's a shame. So I'm just following the lines that Kirby's put on these triangular bits. Just checking I was in frame then. So yeah, it was madly raining here before, and now it's sunny, the sun's out, so it's quite nice to see. Certainly making my dinosaur stand out a lot there. It already didn't stand out, but it is now. I think that's alright. Just try to get in here with the book, it's a bit difficult. So I can't seem to flatten it too well. Hope I'm in frame. Just moving my book a bit on this side. So yeah, I think this picture is going to take me quite a few parts because, well, it's a big double, oops, didn't mean to do that. It's a big double pager, so I think it will take me a while to do this, but I will soldier on. I mean, I won't show all the sections that I've done, but I'll try to show, you know, examples of the different bits that I do. So I think I need a bit more water on my palette, so I'm just going to do that. So yeah, I think it will need a few parts, but I will not sort of film every little thing that I'm doing, because like I said, it might take too long and not be too interesting to watch. But if I show like sections of all the different bits that I do, you know, a little part of it, that at least gives people some form of an idea. Right, it looks very bright. The gold looks very bright here. I wonder if the camera is actually picking that up. I think it is. So in this part 2 of this dinosaur business colouring, I think I'm only going to stop for part 2 at just doing this dinosaur, this main dinosaur, and then yeah, I think I won't add any more to the tail, because the tail doesn't, I don't think the tail has any more of it on. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'll just do the main dinosaur, and then do a separate part 3 will be the houses, I think. So that's the gold bits on my dinosaur. I just come out a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so I thought I'd finished, but I haven't actually finished, because I was going to put, I think at the beginning of this video I said I was going to put some glittery stuff onto my dinosaur. So Glamour dust, which I've also got all over my hands right now, is what I'm going to put onto my dinosaur as a final touch, and then this part 2 will be complete. So this is Deco Art Glamour dust called Gold Glitz. It's just an ultra fine glitter, which I've just put some of it on here onto my palette, and then I've got a couple of brushes, and all I'm going to do is show you me putting it on for part of it, and then you can sort of see the end bit. So yeah, I think that actually looks quite nice. I can see the shimmer going down. I'm just applying it very roughly, as you can see. I'm not taking too much care, as long as I get a little bit of glitter on there. I mean, I can put it on as thickly or as thinly as I want, really. I actually do like that. It's not bad. So if my dinosaur wasn't blinged up enough, it is now. So remember in the previous little bit I said I was going to put some of the gold on the houses. So I put some of the gold on the houses, you know, the same paint that I used for these triangular bits on the top. I sort of did that off camera as well. So this is not going to take too long, so I'm just going to get this done, so then at least you can see what it looks like at the end of part 2. You can see I've got paint on some other bits, but I'll hopefully be able to cover that up with whatever media I use. Just pop that there. You can hear a cat outside, sort of meowing away. Wonder if you can hear it on camera. I'm almost done, as you can see. going to do this end bit here, the tail. I should really use a thinner brush. So this is quite a subtle look, so I decided sorry, I'll try to speak again. I decided to use a more subtle glitter rather than the big glitter flakes, because I wanted, you know, I think the dinosaur itself looks really nice, you know, the colours, the purples and the blues, so I didn't really want to hide that. I didn't want that hidden. I wanted it to be, you know, because it looks nice and I didn't want to hide that, so I thought it might take away from it, so therefore I thought I'd just add a bit of subtle Glamour dust rather than actual, you know, thick glitter pieces. Anyway, that was my thinking behind it. Right, I think that was just me cleaning my brush. So just put this to the side, or maybe not, on the floor. Right, so this is basically the dinosaur at the end of part 2. So I don't know if you can actually see the glitter. It's not dried yet because obviously I've just put it on now. I don't know if you can see the shimmer, the little gold bits of glitter, the fine glitter. Bring it in a little bit. Yeah, I wonder whether the camera's picking that up. I'll probably be able to tell whether it picks it up or not on playback. But yeah, I think that's basically my part 2 done, which is the main dinosaur. So I think I'm finished there now. I think I haven't forgotten anything. So until next time, look after yourselves. Bye.